Audiobook and Hardship by Fictionify. Whispers of the Vanished. Echoes of a Touch. Cole sat on the hood of his unmarked car, parked 2 blocks from the Soho warehouse. Rain hadn't started yet, but the air buzzed with the kind of pressure that always came before a storm. He should have arrested her. She was right there, the stolen painting in her hands. There would have been enough evidence, enough cause. He'd waited years for a case that big, but instead of calling it in, he let her walk away. The moment replayed in his mind on a loop, her breath soft, her eyes fierce, her voice trembling with truth. That wasn't just a thief escaping. That was Elena showing him who she really was. And for some reason, that terrified him more than the badge on his belt. Elena stood barefoot in her penthouse, still in her black gear, staring out the floor-to-ceiling windows at the glittering skyline. Her gloves lay discarded on the marble counter. The painting had already been picked up by a courier headed to Warsaw. But something else lingered, something she couldn't send away. Cole, he'd seen her. Not just physically, he'd seen her, the way no one had in years. And instead of stopping her, he let her go. That choice echoed louder than any siren. Elena poured herself a glass of red wine, but it remained untouched. She walked through the quiet stillness of her apartment, her world of clean lines, curated art, and silent walls feeling colder than usual. It was the danger, she told herself, the risk of being discovered. But that wasn't it. It was him. Cole Carter was no longer just an obstacle. He was a reflection, a reminder of the woman she might have been if life had offered a different road. And it scared her how badly she wanted to follow that road, just for a while. The next day brought no relief. Cole sat across from Margot at a Brooklyn cafe, trying to convince himself that his mind was clear.
"You're holding back evidence,"
she said bluntly. He sighed.
I didn't take a picture. I didn't pull my gun. I didn't file a report.
"You froze,"
she corrected.
"which is worse. You let her go, and now you're hoping no one finds out."
He stirred his coffee.
What would you have done?
Margot leaned back, studying him.
"If I believed she was doing what she says she is, I'd still have brought her in."
She's not a con artist. I saw it in her eyes.
"And that's exactly why she's dangerous, Cole, because you believe her."
He rubbed his temples.
She's not stealing for herself. That painting was verified, authentic, stolen during wartime, in private hands illegally. She gave it back.
"Do you hear yourself?"
Margot said, her voice low but urgent.
"This isn't some vigilante fairy tale. She's still breaking laws, infiltrating high-security places, and committing felonies."
She's doing what the system won't.
Margot's expression softened.
"And what happens when the line gets blurry? When she takes something she thinks is stolen but isn't? Or worse, when someone innocent gets hurt?"
He had no answer for that because he didn't know. Later that night, Elena found herself sitting in the back of a jazz lounge again. Same booth, same mood. This time, she came not to hide, but to think. She never came to the same place twice during a cooling period. It was a rule. But tonight, she broke it. Because he had broken her rhythm. And just like before, he found her. Cole approached slowly, rain clinging to his coat and lashes, his hair slightly tousled like he'd been chasing something or someone all day.
You're getting predictable,
he said without turning.
"You're getting reckless."
They stared at each other in the shadows. The music hummed between them.
"Why did you come again?"
She asked.
I couldn't stop thinking about you.
It wasn't a flirtation. It was truth, worn and raw.
I thought you might have questions.
She said carefully.
I do.
He slid into the booth, close enough that their legs nearly touched beneath the table.
Like why someone as brilliant and driven as you would choose this life. Why you'd risk everything for people you've never met.
She met his gaze.
Because it's not about me.
But it's hurting you.
She laughed softly.
It's who I am. It's how I survive. Without this, without purpose, I would have disappeared long ago.
A beat passed. Cole reached into his coat and pulled out a small object, a charm, an old coin etched with Hebrew letters. She blinked.
Where did you get that?
Off a girl named Miriam. She's 91, lives in Queens. Said it belonged to her mother. Said a woman dropped it off yesterday without a name. No note. Just this and a picture of the brooch you stole.
Elena's voice caught in her throat.
She got it.
She cried when she opened the box. Told me it was the first piece of her mother she'd had since the camps.
Elena couldn't speak. Her fingers trembled as she took the coin and looked down at it, her chest tightening. And then Cole reached across the table and laid his hand gently over hers.
I still don't know what the hell to do with you.
He whispered.
But I'm not walking away. Not yet.
Her breath hitched.
I don't want you to.
She whispered back. Their fingers entwined, slow and unsure, as if learning a language no one had taught them. For a moment, there was only the warmth of skin and the low, aching hum of music around them. Neither of them noticed the man by the bar snapping photos on his phone. Nor did they see the encrypted message sent moments later to a private server.
Targets confirmed. Proceed to phase 2.